Hello, ladies. I'm a couple minutes early. What? So, come on in, say hello. If you hop on, say hello. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. I really like to see who's watching and know that someone's watching these videos, okay? So, y'all say hi when you come on. Today, we're going to be talking about mindset. So, I am Coach Steph. I'm a registered dietitian. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a weight loss and mindset coach. And I really, really love talking about mindset. It's my favorite thing to talk about because it drives everything, right? Our mindset, the way we think about ourselves and who we are, and how we approach nutrition, how we approach fitness. It makes all the difference. Your thoughts and your results will always be the same, which is why we have to get really good at managing our thoughts. Because if you think about anything that was ever created, as you hop on and say hello, um, if you think about anything that was created, it was created in the mind first, right? Before you create something, you visualize it, right? You think about like what you want it to be, what color, how you want it to function, right? So it's really important that we do the same thing in our health journey and focusing on those thoughts versus focusing on the barriers. Because the more you focus on barriers and excuses, the more you just create more of that, right? So as you're hopping on, say hello. Let me know where you're from. If you watch the replay, hashtag replay. If anybody wants to come on, damn it, you know what? I always forget. So in order for y'all to come on live with me, I have to be on my phone, and I'm on my laptop. So my bad. I was gonna have somebody hop on, or if somebody wanted to hop on, but I'm on my laptop, so I can't do that today. Okay, but I do want to start doing some like hot seat coaching where I bring someone on that maybe has a question or struggling, and we kind of do some coaching on live if y'all are willing. So maybe I'll do that next time. I just have to remember to use my phone instead. Hi, Yolanda. Thank you for saying hello. So we're talking about mindset today. And I really want to impress upon you that your mindset and the thoughts that you're thinking over and over again are creating your results. If you're thinking not just negative, but just thinking thoughts that are not producing you the result that you want, we're going to talk about that today. And I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit of strategy too, because as I was creating this, I just kind of got into more strategy too. So I can see comments today. I'm super excited because typically sometimes I can't see them. So we're going to jump right in. Only a couple of people are on, which is really weird, but I'm going to keep it rolling. So how to change your mindset to get results. Okay. So number one, do you know what you want? This is a huge question. Like literally, do you know what you want? Do you have a plan to get what you want? Do you know what it looks like? Do you know what it feels like? Do you know what it would take? The habits that it would take, the thoughts that you would have to think, the things that you would have to change about who you are and who you show up as. Like, and getting really crystal clear on that. Hi, ladies. Thanks for joining. So, tip number one is writing down what you want. Like, in this health journey, what is it that you want? Or in your life period, like, how do you want to feel? Who do you want to be? These are really important questions. And I think like sometimes we just go along in life and we just like do things, right? We go to work and we get the kids and we do the things and we never actually stop and like be present, ask ourselves how we feel, who do we want to be? Are you purposefully and intentionally creating who you are? So, I'm Stephanie. Am I purposely creating Stephanie the way that I want her to be? Am I being intentional about my thoughts and my habits, who I'm hanging around, what I'm listening to, and what I'm doing, right? So all of that matters in your health journey. Because if, you know, if you're consuming content, if you're consuming, if you're around people who are not doing or on the same track as you, it's going to affect your results, right? So you have to get really clear. Write down. And when I say write down, y'all, I mean get a pencil and a piece of paper. Put pen to paper and write down what you want. Are you trying to lose a certain amount of weight? Are you trying to feel a certain way in your body? Are you trying to get your cholesterol down? What does it look like? Literally, what would it look like for you to have and to accomplish and embody the goals that you have set? Okay, so number 2 would be write down what it would take to get there, right? The big steps and the small steps. Like, okay, I have this goal. What would it take for me to get to that goal every day? What would it look like? What would my days look like? What would my days be structured like in order for me to get to this goal? Right? And write that down, because those things matter. Because I feel like, and we're going to talk about time management in a little bit, but time management, time will get away from you if you're not intentional, right? Dave Ramsey has a program. He's a money guru person who's like, okay, every dollar has a name. Like, you don't just go spending money. No, you allot each dollar for a certain purpose. And so we should kind of do the same thing with our time, of like allotting, okay, from this time to this time, I want to be intentional with my time. And to be intentional with your time is to be intentional with your mind. And we'll get to that in a second. So, writing down what you really, really want. Then writing down what it would look like for you to get there. The big steps and the small steps. And then setting aside time, 5 minutes a day, right? To revisit your goal and revisit who you want to be, right? This right here, it sounds like super simple, but it's one of the most important things that you can do. And I would say that it's life-changing to literally sit down every morning, preferably, and set intentions for your day. Okay? Set intentions about how you want to show up. Think about, okay, this is my day. I have these appointments. I may have my workout scheduled today. Like, who do I want to show up as today? Like, you're creating your own energy. So I got this thought download in my sleep, like a few nights ago. In my business, I always say, like, create your own power, or not create your own power, but own your own power, right? And so in my sleep, when you're like half asleep and then half awake, and you're like in that like in between stage, that thought came to my mind. Own your own power. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Like, if someone's not into self-development, what does that even mean to a person? And then God, I believe, like, put this in my spirit of like, owning your own power is owning your energy. Another way to say that is owning your emotions and creating your own emotions. So every morning, you need to create your own emotions by thoughts that you're thinking. I'm sorry, my phone is going off for some reason. You create your emotions every day and set your intention every day. This is such an important step. It's very simple to do, right? Not easy to do consistently every day, but it can absolutely be done, right? Every day, 5 minutes. Like, before I wake up in the morning, as soon as I wake up, I practice some gratitude. I say some affirmations in my mind. I have this journal right here, right? And I tear pages out and stuff, but I do thought downloads, and I'll get to that in a second. But I really want you to revisit and be intentional every morning about who you want to be and how you want to show up. Okay? And so what does that mean? So creating your own energy, creating your own emotions, right? So you're creating a whole vibe. And so our vibrations are super duper important. If you think about, like, if you were to, maybe you wanted to create a romantic dinner at home with you and your husband, right? And so you might, before he comes home, you might, turn down the lights, put on some perfume, light some candles, cook some dinner or whatever, right? And so he comes in, he knows immediately the vibe is set. It's just like, oh, okay, there's a different mood, right? It's not because you lit a candle, because you could light a candle and he'd be like, all right, he wouldn't even notice, right? It is your intention, it is your vibration, right, that set the mood, right? And because you had the intention of setting this vibration, setting this mood, it can be felt, right? And so why am I talking about that? Because you get to decide how you want to show up in your life every day. And if you want to be a boss, you want to be fit, you want to be very intentional, you want to, have the girl muscles, whatever your goal is, you have to focus on that. Like, your thoughts and your energy have to be focused on that. Because I guarantee you, as soon as you roll over, you pick up this phone, you got Facebook, Instagram, you're scrolling right before bedtime. It's a no-no. I guarantee you, if you were to take what you're scrolling on this phone and compare it to the life you want to have, to the goals that you want to set, they don't even compare. You're wasting a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of intention, a lot of purpose on things that don't matter. And your thoughts and your energy are going towards that versus creating each day, creating each moment, and being present and focused on your day. Let me know if this is making sense, right? This might be a little woo-woo for some people, but let me know if this is making sense. Like, you have to be intentional about your day. So if it's workout day, if it's meal prep day, you sit down and say, okay, this is what my schedule is for today. Let me be really intentional. Why do I want to be intentional? Because go back to that goal. This is my goal. This matters to me. And your goal is not the bikini. Your goal, a lot of my clients are like, okay, my goal is my whole family has diabetes and I don't want that. Or I want to do better, I want to live longer for my kids, right? Or, I want to feel more confident in my body or whatever. Like, those are the real reasons. So if you were to write down your goals, right, and say, okay, my goal is to live longer and see my grandchildren, and then put a but, and then any excuse you can think of. But I'm too busy scrolling on Instagram. But I'm too tired after work. Or but I don't have an accountability partner. Like, whatever it is, if you put your real why and say but, and then your excuse, you will see that it's not worth it, right? Okay, thank you, Denise. This is making sense. Awesome. So during this time every day, your 5 minutes, right, in the morning, where you're setting your intention, I want you to visualize yourself doing it, right? And start embodying the woman that handles her business every day. That, whatever your goal is, to work out, to meal prep, to be more present and happy with your kids, right? Or whatever your goal is, like, visualize your day. Visualize you doing it, okay? So you're setting intention. You're setting the intention to embody her, right? You're visualizing it, and you're managing your thoughts every day. So do you have a system for being aware of the thoughts that you're thinking? A lot of us don't. So let me give you a couple of tips. Number one, brain dump. Like, every morning, just put pen to paper and just start writing down, like, how you're feeling. If you're nervous about, an interview later on in the day, like, just start writing down. Like, you'd be surprised if you start being intentionally, like, conscious of your thoughts, like, what's going to come up, right? And so then take a look at your brain dump and say, okay, are these thoughts going to get me to my ultimate result? Like, if I'm sitting here thinking I am so tired, or I'm lazy and I'm not going to be consistent, is that thought ever going to get you to your goal? No, it's not. It's okay that you have the thought. Now you can be aware of it, and now you get to choose new thoughts that you want to think, that are going to get you the result that you want, because it's going to make you feel different. If I'm thinking I'm lazy, I'm tired, I'm going to be lazy and tired, and I'm not going to do nothing. But if that thought comes to my mind and I'm like, I'm lazy, I'm like, no, you don't have to accept that. You don't have to accept that thought. You can say, you know what? I'm actually, bold and fierce, or I am energetic today. If you start telling yourself that right now, like, I'm energetic, it raises your vibration. Okay? It does. And so we want to be thinking thoughts that are going to get us the result. I'm going to get into some strategy here in a little bit. And I know this is a little woo-woo, but it really does make a difference. Being more aware of the thoughts that are driving your results, putting them down on paper, choosing to think new thoughts that are going to serve you and get you the goal to the result that you want. Okay? So then in that 5 minutes, you're going to make this, like, pick one or two things and say, okay, this day would be successful if I maybe went out for a walk today and ate my meal prep or whatever. Like, just pick two things that would make your day successful. Hello. Hi, Regina. Writing crystallizes thought. Yes, I love it. Okay, so pick one or two things to set your intention. Like, this day will be successful if, write those two things down and be very intentional about creating those two things. Because if you think about it, if you got two things done, like if you were intentional about two things every day for 7 days, that's 14 things that you got accomplished, right? That's a pretty productive week, right? Even if it's small things, it's better that you are consistent daily with small things than like pick a whole bunch of stuff and be real inconsistent with it. Okay, so first one was write down what you really want. Second was write down how you would get there, right? And then the third is basically embodying, visualizing, focusing on your thoughts and picking two things that's going to help you to get there every morning. Make it real simple. It doesn't have to be this big long thing. Okay. Then number 4 is really one of the most important as well, is decide daily. Decide that this is what you're going to do. Okay. So stop micro quitting. A lot of us, we may not quit our whole journey, but we quit on ourselves in this like small things that we say we're going to do. That looks like telling yourself, okay, today's workout day, I'm gonna go work out at 6 today, and then you don't. For no reason at all, you just decide, I'll just push it back the next day. Well, we know how that ends up, right? So decide daily that this is what is going to happen, right? After you have your 1 to 2 things. So stop micro quitting and stop allowing every whim to take you off track. So-and-so calls impromptu, she wants to go to happy hour, or, my kid decided that she didn't want to go to a certain place and now I can't. Like, no, when you set your intention, make sure you stick to that, not to be rigid and not to be inflexible, but because you have a goal to meet, right? And your consistency is important. Your consistency relies on your decisions. Stop letting every little thing that comes around, it has to be like perfect situations, perfect life in order for you to do the things that you know are going to get you to your goals. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to feel awesome all the time. It's just not. So you have to decide that this is what I am going to do, right? So sometimes we just accept the first thought in our mind, like I was saying earlier about the thought of I'm tired or I'm lazy or whatever other unproductive thoughts that you can think, right? You can coach yourself in the moment. If you see yourself about to micro quit or about to self-sabotage, talk to your own brain. You tell it what to do. You think intentional sentences in your mind to redirect those negative thoughts that just come up, right? It's okay. Those thoughts are going to come up. You're going to look at those thoughts and be like, you know what? I'm not skipping my workout today. Actually, I have goals. I'm not that tired. I might not have a whole hour, but I have 30 minutes and I can get this done. Like, those are the sentences. If you start talking to your own brain, you will get different results. If you just go with the first thing that your brain says, that I'm tired and maybe I'll do this tomorrow, that's what you're going to do. Right? I like that. Stop micro quitting. Decide daily. Yes, Yolanda. Okay, so decide daily. Stop micro quitting. Stop allowing every whim to take you off track. Stop just going with the first thought that comes to yourself, to your mind. You can coach yourself in the moment, right? And then also taking responsibilities for the results that you have created. So whatever result that you have right now, the Yolanda, the Regina, the who else is on here? Denisha, that is watching this live right now. You created her with every decision that you made in the past. So what you see right now, the Stephanie that you see right now, is the residual effects of past decisions, right? This is just a product, what you see, right? So whether good or bad, or whether we like that result or not, let's take responsibility. I created this. So when we take responsibility and say, I created this, then we can say, okay, if I created this, and let's say I don't like the result, then I can choose to create a different result. And taking responsibility over our decisions and over our time and over our thoughts, okay? You can change your own destiny, really taking responsibility for that. And once you do take responsibility for that, you understand that, like, things aren't happening to you, right? So this is a little tough. It's a little tough coaching, but it's real, because things are not happening to you. Like, you're missing workouts for days and months, or you're eating fast food every day. These are decisions that we make, right? This doesn't just happen. And so when I hear, a lot of times people will struggle with consistency, right? And they're like, okay, I'm not consistent. And so if I say, okay, well, do you think that for the next 4 weeks that you'd be able to work out, 3 or 4 times a week? And they're like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure, right? They don't trust themselves because they've micro quit on themselves so many times. It's like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be consistent. As if they didn't have the choice, as if the consistency happens to them, as if, like, they don't have a choice. When really, take control of your decisions. You have the power to make the decision whether or not you will be consistent or not. So one of my favorite quotes is, the best way to predict the future is to create it. You get to create it. You get to decide, right? And consistency is not a feeling, y'all. Consistency is not a feeling. We're sitting around waiting for, like, this feeling to come over us, like the Holy Ghost, to be consistent, when it's really just a decision. Like, consistency is just a decision. That's it. We go to work every day and we don't want to go. Okay? You go to that raggedy job every day when you don't really want to go. Or, you got your kids' basketball practice every day. You want to sit there in bleachers and wait for practice to be over? No, you don't, but you do it, right? So there are things that we can do. There's things that we can do that we know, like, in the moment we don't want to do. But when do you ever work out and be like, oh, I regret working out, I shouldn't have gone? Like, no. Every time you go and you work out, you're like, yes, you're proud of yourself, number one, for pushing through. And it creates evidence in your mind that you can be consistent, that you can do the things. It decreases stress. Like, you never regret a workout. So consistency is not a feeling. It is a decision. Okay. So do a hard reset every week. So I talked earlier about, your 5 minutes in the morning, setting your intentions, doing your visualization, really embodying who you want to be. Every week, once a week, do a hard reset. And really what that is just really refocusing on your goals, making sure you're writing that down, looking at your week and saying, okay, last week, there was a few things that I didn't like in the previous week. Let me tweak that for this coming week. Okay, I have appointments, the kids have, I don't know, tutoring or whatever. How do I need to reschedule my day and my week in order for me to fit in the things that are going to serve my goals? A hard reset once a week, and that needs to be on your calendar. It needs to be a non-negotiable. So if it's Saturday at 10 a.m., every Saturday at 10 a.m., you get your journal, you look at your week, and you say, this is my plan for the week. Do I need to move anything around? This is when I'm gonna, meal prep, or this is when I'm gonna work out, right? So do you have a plan? Do you even have a plan? If I were to ask you, do you have a plan for how you're gonna reach your goals? Like when you're gonna work out and what time and what you're gonna eat and how you're gonna create a system for yourself. Instead of scrambling every day trying to figure out what you're gonna eat, how can you create a system of maybe making a 5-week meal plan, week by week? You don't have to make it all at one time. Every week, you can make the plan and save it. Then after 5 weeks, you can just rotate and go back, right? Do you have a plan to make things simple and so that you don't have to start from scratch every time you get ready to do something, right? Let me know if this is making sense. Let me know, okay? So make a plan. When will you work out? So this kind of going into the strategy part. When will you work out? Put it on your calendar. When will you grocery shop? Put it on your calendar. When will you meal prep? Put it on your calendar, okay? So I don't know what I was doing before I started using Google Calendar. I have no idea how I managed my life before Google Calendar. I have no idea. So y'all tell me, what are y'all using? Do you use a calendar? Do you use a planner? Are you writing stuff down? Like, how do you remember like appointments and all your virtual events and the kids stuff? Like, how do you manage your day? I use Google Calendar, and I literally don't know what I would do without Google Calendar. Like, I don't know what I was doing. What are y'all using? Let me know in the chat. I know I have multiple planners. I have this planner right here. It's more of like a business type of planner. And then I have my notebook for just journaling stuff, thoughts and things. Okay, Google Calendar. Me too. I use Google Calendar too. So put it on your calendar. Put these things that are important to your goals on your calendar. So one of the things that I do with my clients, one of the first things is we look at your week. What are you already doing? Do a time audit. What are you already doing? And what needs to be done in order to reach your goals, and how can we plug that into your calendar? Okay. Move things around, be flexible. You want to make sure that you're not adding unnecessary rules. You can be flexible. If something needs to be moved around, move it around. But that's what that hard reset is for. So every week you can say, okay, this might need to be shifted around, but everything that I need to get done in this week is in there. Okay. So you can be proactive with your week. So you don't have to be reactive every day. You don't even know what your schedule is. My partner, every time, he is, I don't know, way different than me. Okay. So I'm like, oh, what are you doing? What do you have planned today? He's like, oh, I ain't got nothing. I don't think I have nothing. Right? Then I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's go do this and that. It's time to go. He's like, oh, I have a meeting. I forgot I didn't have this meeting. Like every time. And I'm like, I thought you didn't have nothing. He got a day booked. But some of us are mindless, or like, I don't know, we're just not intentional, right? And so just practice, right? Just practice being really intentional with our day. I feel like women aren't, I know some women are like that, but I feel like more so women tend to be a little bit more mindful about stuff. But he's like, so put it on your calendar, move things around, be flexible, be proactive. Do you have a system and a process for staying on track, right? So audit your current process. So do you have a process for your for your goals. Like if you want to lose 20 pounds, do you have a process of how you're going to manage your time, right? Of what you're going to eat, how often you're going to, not even just work out, but just be active. Just go on a walk. Just go, kick the soccer ball with your kids. It doesn't even always have to be a workout, right? So then comes the execution of your plan. Time management. So my business coach always says time management is mind management. Okay, time management is mind management. So if you find that you're the type of person where your time is like all over the place, you're like, you look up and it's already 2:00. A lot of times it's because maybe we focused on something and we weren't like focused on being intentional or being present and like surveying our time, surveying like our moment, each moment. And so time will go by fast, right? And so make sure that you're managing your time and you're practicing reeling in your mind from distractions. You can waste so much time on social media, right? Practice reeling in your mind. So what I mean by that is practice being more aware of those like just thoughts that come up and not letting your mind go down the rabbit hole of a distraction, and being able to catch it in the moment and say, okay, no, I really need to focus on this right now. And so sometimes like I have a problem sometimes too because I have a ton of stuff to do, and I will literally write down in my journal and I'll just put intention. And I'll write one thing that I'm about to sit down and do. And I don't want no other tabs open on my computer. I don't want, no other distractions. This is what I'm about to do right now. I'm about to focus my energy on getting this done. Then after that's done, then I'll do the next thing, right? So reeling in your mind from distractions. Practice staying on task so that you can be efficient with your time, right? And so this doesn't even mean like staying on task with your workout or with your meal plan. It's everything else, because if you're wasting time on social media after work instead of going to the gym, right, like, or wasting time at work like piddling when you could be doing something else, like everything is connected to every other thing. And so if we're not managing one area in our life, it's just going to bleed into your health journey. So understand that these are decisions that you're making. It's not just happening to you. You are deciding to do other things. Like with your time, you are deciding. So if you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And you want to make sure that you're saying yes to the right things. Okay? So in the execution, sometimes it's really important that we have somebody to hold us accountable. Right? So that could be a class, that could be a trainer, that could be a coach, that could be a friend who's really on it. But, don't get an accountability partner that struggles in the same areas that you struggle with, right? Because that doesn't typically work out too well. But in order for you to do whatever it takes in order for you to show up. So I've had people who felt bad. It's like, oh, I always need a coach, or I always need a trainer. Every time I have reached my goals, like, I've needed help. And I'm like, that's fine. To me, that's a structured relationship, right? You're putting yourself in this relationship in order to achieve a certain goal and achieve a certain process. And that's okay, right? So don't shame yourself around that, but know what you need and make it happen. So consistently reset. I think I said this earlier about having that hard reset every week, and then a little 5-minute mind management session and intention session every morning. Okay. And then lastly, like, know what motivates you. So you have to know what motivates you, whether that's music, whether that's looking at your goals and just journaling about your goals real quick. Or for me, music does it. If I go on Instagram, I follow a lot of fitness people and I see people working out, like that gets me going. Like I want to go to the gym. Wearing some cute workout clothes also helps. A mirror, I think I had posted in the group a while back, like, do mirrors help you and motivate you during a workout? Like, it's uncomfortable. It's weird to me to work out and not have a mirror. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but it helps me. It's one of the reasons why I have a hard time working out in my garage, but if I go to the gym, I'm like on it. I don't even want to leave. And I don't know, it's just the energy, right? I'm getting into the energy of the gym or whatever. So know what motivates you and make it easy. So you want to set your environment up for success. Your environment is a huge piece and a missing piece that a lot of people don't talk about of setting your environment up for success, whether that be picking your clothes out, right? So in that reset, that weekly hard reset, that could include you picking out your 4 outfits that you're going to wear this week to the gym and putting them in your car so that you can go straight to the gym instead of coming home, right? That could look like every night you putting your water bottle in the fridge so that you have cold water every morning because you know you're not going to drink no room temperature water. Or that could look like I don't know, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of another example of setting your environment up for success. I don't know why. I can't think of another one. Can y'all think of another example? So for you personally, if you were to set your environment up, so what I mean by that is like making it a little bit more simple, right? So the example that I gave about having your workout clothes. So every day or every 4 days, you don't have to go and like, oh, let me go find what I'm going to wear. You already have it. What are some examples of setting your environment up for success? It could be with water. It could be with your journaling. Just having your journal. It could be so simple. Having this journal and a pen by my bed helps me to journal and do my mindset and my intention every morning because it's right there. It could be that simple. Okay? Just making it easy for you to do the things that you know you need to do. This is an environmental step as well. Having this, you would be, it's crazy how you knowing how many steps you have helps for you to be more active, right? So making sure this is charged every week, right? That's an environmental thing that I can do that's going to help me to stay motivated. Does that make sense? Denisha said, prepping my food for the next day. Yes, the night before, so I don't have excuses to eat out. Exactly. That's perfect. Right? So all of those things, everything that I mentioned, who you want to be, right? How are you going to get there? Planning what it is that you're going to set up in your environment, right? Your 5-minute reset every day, your visualization, your intentional thought creation. Like you're making your plan, you putting it on the calendar so that it pops up as a notification. All of those things are so doable, right? They're so doable. It's the little things. It's the little things that are going to help you manage your time and manage your decision making. And this is all about decisions. It's literally all about what you're focusing your energy on. Okay? Once you understand and develop a process for managing your mindset and managing your thoughts, the nutrition and the fitness will be very easy because it will just be a decision. It will just be a decision. Okay? So, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful. I did want to let y'all know one thing that I'm super excited about. We are doing a mind-body reboot challenge in this group coming up very, very soon. In the description of this live, I put a link. The wait list is up and available. I think it's pinned in the group, but it's also in the description. So you want to go to that link. You want to get on the wait list. The wait list members will be able to sign up first for the challenge. Reboot challenge. It will be mindset, nutrition, and fitness. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to have events. There's going to be prizes. We're going to be doing some giveaways. The first 15 people to sign up will get a free consultation with the dietitian, who is me. Okay, so, sign up and then bring me some of your issues, or I can help you kind of work out whether it's mindset, fitness, or nutrition. I am a clinical dietitian, so like if you have diabetes or heart disease or something like that, we can chat about that. So do not forget, go to the link right after this is over and sign up for the wait list, and we will be sending out emails and more information about that. So we are super excited about that. I'm working on content right now, so y'all stay tuned. Okay, so if you watched, let me know if this was helpful. Managing my mindset means planning for my success. Exactly. Exactly. I love it. Y'all, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you very, very soon. Have a good night.